Hello there, my fellow nation builders and Asgardians. My name is Ross. I'm the founder of Nation Builders, and today I want to give to you a State of the Nation Builders address. So I'm just going to be talking a little bit about what we've been working on, what we're working towards, and potentially what sort of problems we're facing that we need to address in the coming months. So obviously it's going to be very lo-fi, just me, a camera, a few talking points, and maybe in the future when we get a little bit more professional we can do something a bit more high-tech. So the first update I have for you is that the Unity Day book has been completed. You can download a digital copy of this book completely for free at nationbuilders.space/unity. So that is the digital version of the book. We have also got a physical version of that book, which we will make available. The physical version of the book, we just have one copy of it right now, which is earmarked to be a gift for our head of nation, Dr. Asher Bailey, to thank him for everything he's done, although it's a very small token compared to what he has given to the nation. We plan to sell the physical copy of this book. It's going to be sold as close to cost as possible with a small markup so that we can recover some of the costs of publishing. Because Nation Builders, of course, absorbed 100% of the publishing costs. And yeah, we just want to make a little bit of that back. If we do make any profit, of course, it will go directly back into Nation Builders. And everything we do is completely transparent. So you would be able to know exactly what was happening with that money. So that really wraps up the Unity Day book. It was a huge achievement, really, and I was blown away by it. The fact that we were able to work with Asgardians from all over the world, multiple different languages, and actually create this physical, real-world artifact as a result. So the next thing I want to talk about is Asgardia's birthday. Some of you know that this is coming up in October. Nation Builders has been working on putting together a VR concert. So we're working with a talented Asgardian musician who is going to be developing music for us, which we're going to play at that virtual reality concert. We're still at the early stages at the moment. We're trying to figure out where we can host it, what platform it will be on. We're looking at some we're looking at two options primarily at the moment. I think Alt Space VR and VR Chat to see if we can create the kind of atmosphere we need, but with also the tools that we would need to kind of moderate a concert there to make sure it wasn't ruined by any trolls or anything like that. So we're experimenting with those platforms at the moment. We plan also to pick a piece of software that will allow people to log on a 2D client as well, so you don't need to come in with a VR headset and everything to see what's happening. We'll also be streaming it on Twitch or YouTube as well, so that people can come along and just listen to the music and see what's happening in the room. And then of course it will all be recorded so people can watch it later if they can't attend for some reason. We are also planning to try and create some new traditions for Asgardia's birthday. So we want to sort of have this this sentiment that Asgardia's birthday is about giving. It's about putting some positive energy out there into the world, into the universe. So we want to make it a tradition that on Asgardia's birthday, we will do charitable acts. We will pay it forward. We'll help people out. We'll give gifts to other people to try and make their lives better. So the spirit of giving will be alive in Asgardia. Something that if people can do, they should. It doesn't have to be anything amazing. It could just be a note It could be you buy someone's coffee. It could be you pay for someone's parking. It could be you help in your local community or do volunteering. Whatever it is, we just want to make sure that on Asgardia's birthday, we're giving a meaningful gift back to humanity. And we also want to create the solar cake tradition. In our meetings, we were sort of talking about, like, how do we celebrate Asgardia's birthday? One of the first things that came to mind obviously was a cake. And then, we started talking, like, we're from all different places around the world. Everybody's cake is different. Like, the cake in England is very different from the cake in other parts of the world. So we had this idea that we would be encouraging people to create a cake on Asgardia's birthday in the style or flavor of whatever is traditional for them, but including one common element, a solar motif, an image of the sun, or something that depicts it, such as the rays of the sun. So to give an example, my solar cake would be a stack of pancakes with maple syrup on it and streaks of bacon to represent the sun, something like that. And of course, it doesn't have to be sweet. It could be savory. It's whatever works for you. But I like the idea of having the fact that we all are all unique, and we are all from multiple different cultures, but we have those elements that make us Asgardian and that bind us together. So we're hoping to start advertising and pushing these things in the coming days and weeks, so that we can try to get as many Asgardians on board as possible. And of course, that is something we'd love your help with. And if anybody wants to be involved in that, who wants to help in Asgardia's birthday, or just wants more information, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can find all of our details on nationbuilders.space. So our next talking point is the drone project. It is our absolute flagship space project at the moment. It's taking up a lot of our resources. We're at the planning stages at the moment. We have started to realize how big of a task this actually is. Not that we didn't realize that in the first place, but when you start planning it all out, it's like, okay, this is going to be a big one. But everybody's really excited about those challenges. We've started to put together a process of how everything will work. We've got an organizational chart, so we can see who is on what team and who are the project managers and who are the team leaders for those teams. And we also have a full suite of project management software, which is called Freed Camp. And we have actually started to list out all the different stages of the project and the milestones, objectives, and even now starting to work on the granular tasks that will be involved in that. There will be, of course, several different stages. Right now, we're working on the research phase, where we are looking at a wide range of academic sources, and we're also looking at things that, for example, NASA or the ESA have worked on that will help guide us in the right direction of creating our own contribution to this. And alongside the research phase, although a lot of what we discover in the research will inform the development of the drone, we have started to look at the development side of it. So we're not talking about the physical development, that will come later. We're talking about the software development. We need to create a brain for our drone so that it will be able to behave autonomously. We're looking at creating a drone swarm technology, and we of course need a simulation to test it all, because it's going to be a long while before we can actually put something into space. So we need the next best thing, which will be a space physics simulation. So all of that is, of course, still in the planning stages, and we definitely would encourage anybody who wants to be a part of building a drone as a kind of crowdsourced community effort to reach out. We need everybody across the board, designers, developers, people with knowledge about business, marketers, people with knowledge about law, because I'm sure we'll get to that stage eventually. So it's going well. It is a big task, and I hope that when in the coming weeks and months, we will actually be able to start sharing some of the artifacts with you guys as we create them. So for example, once we complete our research, we'll be sharing that with everybody so you can read what we've discovered, and we'll be sharing videos of our simulation and things like that when it starts to get put together. So I'll move on from that to our next point, which is the Destination Space album. So some months ago, we started a sort of a cultural project. We wanted to discuss what Asgardian culture might be like in the future. One of the main things that leapt out at us was, of course, music. It's a big part of culture. So we wanted to make a serious contribution to this discussion, and we started to develop an album, which is called Destination Space, that features a sort of very technological sound, backed with human vocals. And it's a very kind of storytelling vibe of Asgardians going into space. And I felt like that would be a really good sound, because at its core, Asgardia is a digital nation. It's this technocracy, but we have this very human element. We're humanitarian. We believe in equality, and we believe in trying to provide a better future for people. So we don't want to lose that human element amongst all of that technology. So we now have 4 tracks available for that album. Our target is probably about between 8 and 12 tracks. And then once that is finished, it will be available for streaming on Spotify. It will be available for free as well on our website. And yeah, we're hoping that people would really enjoy that sound and think about, like, does it resonate with them? Is it like an Asgardian sound, or is it just something that you don't really associate with Asgardia, and further that discussion. And we'd love to see other artists, sort of approaching to give their take on it as well. And to that kind of note, if you would like your music to be included on our album Destination Space, which will be published on all the streaming services basically, such as Spotify, YouTube Music, and so on, please do reach out and let us know, and we can have a discussion about that. So that's sort of what the main things we're working on at the moment. So I just want to start touching on some of the things that we kind of have coming up, the things that we want to do, and the things that we sort of need to achieve. So one of the things that we need to take into consideration is that to be a fully functioning organization which is able to put a drone into space, for example, we need to consider how we're going to pay for everything. So we are looking at different streams of revenue that we can set up. We already have a sponsorship with Rogue Energy. We have a Patreon account set up as well. We are also considering things like revenue from Destination Space. As it streams on Spotify, we will get a trickle of royalties from that. We're also thinking about YouTube as well. How can we maximize our YouTube channel to attract more support from the community as well? Those kind of streams of revenue will be quite important for us as we go forward. So we need to make sure that we're engaging a lot with the community so that we can show them what we're doing, and then if they like what we're doing, they can help us, they can support us in that goal, either with their time or with their money. In April next year, we're also going to be officially registering Nation Builders as a legal entity. We're not sure in what country we're going to do that yet. It could be, for ease of interaction with Asgardia, it would be in Austria. But it could also be where I'm from, in the United Kingdom. But the important thing is that we will be officiating Nation Builders as a legal entity, as a proper company, so that we can start to think about what positions we need in Nation Builders to make sure it does become a strong organization that is able to really help Asgardia grow, to help Asgardia's economy, but most importantly, to provide a place where Asgardians can come and work and have fun and collaborate on projects that they are passionate about, and have fun along the way doing it. So that is another really big step forward for us, generating revenue and getting officially registered. Nation Builders, of course, is not seeking to make massive profits. We are just looking to cover our costs and to help on these projects which are of a large scope, such as the drone project, with technologies that we might need. For instance, in order to make a credible attempt at getting some kind of funding for the drone project, we're going to need a pretty solid prototype. And then the only way we can get a prototype is to raise some funds to build it. Of course, we'll look at different options at the time. We'll look at what we have in the bank. We'll look at doing things like Kickstarter campaigns. But it is going to be a massive job. And I'm sure that you can all appreciate that. And sort of on that note, another thing that we're really hoping to do more of is community events for Asgardians, and, well, whoever is interested in space, I suppose, at that point. Things like discussions, things like watch parties. If the VR concert goes well for Asgardia's birthday, we want to do more of that. We really want to sort of start enriching people's opportunities to come along and join Nation Builders, the organization, and to create content as well. So, for instance, we want to push our YouTube channel. We want to start creating more media content. We've had for a long time on the drawing board, which is getting bigger and bigger, by the way, a Nation Builders TV idea, where we would, for example, be streaming a show live, for example, a panel discussion from virtual reality with the potential of a live studio audience. At the moment, though, we still need to really ramp up our recruitment to make that happen, because, as I said, we're spending a lot of our resources on our existing projects. So, that sort of brings me to my final point, which is going to be recruitment. We have ramped up our technology quite a lot over the past few weeks. We now have systems in place where we will be able to run recruitment in a very succinct way, where we can reach out to people who might want to be volunteers, have them fill in a short form about their passions, about their skills, so that we can start connecting them up with projects that they would be interested in. And ideally, if there are people out there who would like to join Nation Builders, or if you have a project that you would love to run, please come and let us know. We have a very talented Nation Builder who is a very experienced project manager, and he is going to hopefully soon be running free training on the art of project management, so that if you want to create a project with nation builders, you can become that lead, and we can help facilitate that project with the right technology, with the right training, helping to bring volunteers onto that project. And I really believe that if we all sort of come together and we all share some of our free time, we can do some pretty amazing things. We don't have to sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else be the ones who are in the space race. We don't have to sit back and watch as Asgardia is built around us. We can directly contribute to the development of space and to the development of Asgardia. We just need to do it in a semi-structured way, and just make sure that we're all having fun along the way and realizing our passions. So that really wraps up the state of the nation builders at the moment. And of course, as ever, we would love to see you. Please visit nationbuilders.space, and you'll be able to find all of our social networks and link to our Discord, where you can come along and potentially get involved. Thank you very much.